Hey, what's happening, everyone? Welcome to a month-end games review vlog. If you're just joining me here, this video series is where I kind of cover all the games that I played in a certain month, giving you guys my sort of condensed review on each of them. And I just started doing this last month, so right now we're going to be doing one for the month of February. Was a little bit late getting this out. I apologize for that. Things have just been super busy with work and whatnot, but not to worry. I have played some games last month, and I got some good news to share towards the end of this video. I also know you guys wanted to hear about some of the things going on with like the unboxing videos and whatnot, so that is what this video is going to cover here. Alright, let's get started with the games that I played in February. I started the month off strong and decided to check out Forza Horizon 5. Now, I played the Forza Horizon games all the way since the very first one. I've been a huge fan of the Forza games just in general, from the simulator series and with Horizon, of course, back on the Xbox 360. I was kind of very disappointed with Forza Horizon 4, and I didn't care for the location. The game was just an amalgamation of a lot of side activities, and your actual career mode in Forza Horizon 4 consisted nothing of basically just a few set piece races, and you could like beat it in like 6 hours. It was really short. This game I was very pleasantly surprised and happy about. They've actually corrected just about all of my criticisms with Forza Horizon 4, while at the same time bringing it back to a location that was truly very exotic. And I have to say that for Horizon 5, Mexico is now my #1 location in the Forza Horizon games. I absolutely love this game's locations because it has everything pretty much, I think Horizon 3 is pretty much my overall favorite Horizon game, just because it has a little bit more of a balance and stuff, and you have a lot of those, large showcase races, they call them, and you still have that lengthy career in Australia with such a great location. This has the jungles of Australia, but also has like the mountainous regions. You got, snow in some areas. There's more urban locations and deserts. And then you have this really incredible dynamic weather system that I feel was a bit underutilized, because it shows up during the first mission. It kind of comes through in a few races here and then, but then you don't really see it, during your actual career progression. You don't see it all that often. I would have liked if they would have had large sandstorms sort of dynamically come in your races, and it was completely randomized at points. At least that's how I thought it was going to work. From what I witnessed playing the game, it felt as if they were only in select races only, and those were few and far between. So I really wanted to see more of those sort of dynamic weather events in this one. Also, I have to say the showcase races are a bit on the uninspiring side. There's some cool ones in there, but a lot of it is like treading familiar ground. Now, when you get to like the 5th entry in a racing franchise like this, you start to question what more can you really do here, because we've raced cargo planes, we raced helicopters and trains and all that stuff. At least in Horizon 4, they had you racing, a hoverboat or something like that? It was nuts. This one doesn't have anything quite on that same level. That's not to say the showcase missions aren't fantastic and fun and, grand. They are. But I just they're not particularly interesting. It feels like you're just sort of doing the same showcase missions that you were doing in the prior entries. At the same time, I understand we're in the 5th entry here. What more can you do? But I just wanted more. I just wanted something that was like, wow. And I didn't really get that during any of the showcase events in this. Nonetheless, a very lengthy career mode in this one. It took me just over 20 hours to actually beat through the entire career mode, and I like the way that the progression works in this game. They have different categories of races that are divided up into different chapters, and so you do sort of all your, rally car races in one section, all your street racing, which is like, the game turns into like Need for Speed towards the end of the game because you're doing street races. It's actually pretty cool. And then you have, sort of cross-country races, and there's all this cool variety in terms of the types of races that you do, and they're all sort of organized into different sections. So I actually had a really good time playing this. It is my second favorite Forza Horizon game in the series, just narrowly coming in behind Forza Horizon 3, just because I think that game was a little bit more well put together. It was like the ultimate culmination of everything that's great about Forza Horizon. This has the best location in the franchise, in my opinion, and it has some really awesome, races and stuff like that. But yeah, I just wanted more. I wanted more epic moments, and I just didn't really get that with this one as much as I did with the other ones. Alright, I followed that up with Call of Duty Vanguard, the single-player campaign. Now, yes, I have played basically every single Call of Duty since Call of Duty 2 at this point, although I got into the series with Call of Duty 3. This one, I didn't care much for them going back to World War II. I think Activision didn't really know what to do with Call of Duty, because you had the success of revitalizing the Modern Warfare series, and then you follow that up with Black Ops Cold War, which I was excited for personally because it's a continuation of the first Black Ops. This one, I question its existence as far as the single player goes, The characters are okay. I didn't really care for any one particular set of them. The story basically is as follows. You have this group of soldiers that have been basically put together as a specialized team. They get captured by the Nazis in the beginning of the game, and you kind of are, strategically leading them onto different paths, and you're playing flashbacks basically throughout the entire game. It's a fun, typical Call of Duty campaign, meaning that you're going to go in there, you're going to have big explosions, there's going to be some stealth elements and stuff like that. The locations and everything like that are very beautiful. I gotta say that, this is a refinement of the Modern Warfare 2019 engine, and it's a beautiful, beautiful looking game. There's no ray tracing in this one, though. It's a bit odd that Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War had ray trace shadows. They didn't have it in this game. But even though they didn't have ray tracing, I gotta admit that the reflection quality was almost just as good. Like, I saw particles reflected in the metal of like my gun in the barrel and all that stuff, and it's like it looked a little bit more polished than your typical screen space effects, even though I think that's what it was still. So it's your typical Call of Duty campaign. I really can't say much about it on that front because you already know if you're going to enjoy this or not. It's not particularly long. I would say just under 6 hours or so. The characters this time around aren't really that memorable. The story is kind of forgettable, to be completely honest. But the graphics are great, cool locations, and lots of explosions. It's an okay time. It's like the equivalent of like a B-movie experience. Go in there, you're not really expecting anything serious, you just want to have a good time, and I think you'll enjoy this one for what it is at the very least. Now, multiplayer is a bit interesting because I wasn't so captivated by the beta, but I have to admit that I actually enjoyed the multiplayer in this one surprisingly. Like, I thought that I was just going to play it once and like just forget about it, but no, I'm actually having a decent time in the multiplayer for this game, and I think Activision is desperate to have people play this game because Double XP has been going on for every single weekend now since I've been playing this, and the game's been out for how many months at this point. So I think Activision is like desperately trying to get people to come back to this game. This is the worst selling Call of Duty. I think it sold as many copies as Call of Duty 4 back in the day, which even though that game was super successful, when you have a franchise that's this old, that's part of pop culture, that's selling millions upon millions of units, and this one, from what I understand, didn't even break 1 million units on its launch day, that is a big red flag. So I'm happy, by the way, that Microsoft is now kind of in charge of this. I'm really hoping, and from what I understand, Call of Duty is going to be taking a break, not this year, but the next year. I think it's a rumor or something like that. I hope to God that's true, because I really would like to see this series kind of, harken back to its roots and just be, like the old Call of Duty games were fun, but they had a certain intensity and character to them. And so far it's been trying to replicate basically Fast and the Furious explosions, actions, and all this stuff. And it's just kind of like, it's not so inspiring. It doesn't have much character anymore. It's kind of lost its identity in a way. That being said, it's still a decent game. The quality is okay with this one. I did see a few glitches here and there, but it wasn't really that big of a deal. And the graphics are great. So it's a decent, typical Call of Duty experience, but the multiplayer I've actually been enjoying very oddly enough. I think I've been kind of disenchanted with Halo Infinite's progression in the multiplayer, because I don't buy the season, you know, pass or whatever it's called, the battle pass now. Like I don't invest in that. So, you know, this one at least you get to unlock stuff rather quickly. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Vanguard. Alright, and to end the month of February, I checked out Jurassic World Evolution 2. Now, this is a park building game, basically attuned to Roller Coaster Tycoon, if you ever played those old Roller Coaster Tycoon games. Now, this isn't the type of game that I normally play, but I did check out the first game. In fact, I streamed the first game on my YouTube channel, and you can still check that out in the live stream archive playlist. And I was so surprised at just how incredible the first game was, because it took really this really cool concept of building your own Jurassic Park. You get to release dinosaurs, you get to mutate different species together that can create this interesting, you know, breed. And there's just, you know, I was really impressed with the technology in particular with the first game, because the crowd system was just mind-blowing to me. You had people that were doing interactions, and you had like couples holding hands and people having conversations. And I haven't played a Roller Coaster Tycoon game since, like, gosh, the early 2000s, maybe late 90s. It's been a very long time. So for me to come back to this genre in the vein of Jurassic World was just a complete shock to me. Now, the sequel is another solid entry in what they have basically prior, meaning that they're built upon the foundation, they've added a few new things. There's nothing really here that compelled me to play it more than I did the first game. I sunk 40 hours into the first game. I was so shocked at just how good it was. This one, while probably better in every single way, I have to say, I can't really see myself playing it for long term, just because for me it's like I've already kind of experienced the meat of the game. They added a campaign mode in this one, which is basically a glorified tutorial. You can get through, get done with it in about 4 hours. It's really, really quick. And then they have a new mode called Chaos Mode. Now, this is pretty cool, where you actually build the original Jurassic parts, and they actually have you go through different set pieces that are from the movie. And you get to kind of play and see what those events were like from the perspective of like a park builder game. That is a cool mode, and I think that's where really just the quality of the game shines. You can tell like that's where they put their full efforts and focus into. But for returning players, if you played the first one, if you're wondering if there's anything here that you should check out, other than that, not really, to be completely honest. Graphically, I have to say I was very impressed with this game. I mean, the first game looked good, right? It looked very good. This game looks really, really, really good. You got, you know, shadows on all this foliage. The draw distance is absolutely incredible. And I played this on the Xbox Series X, which is, I believe, the only version that actually runs in 60 frames per second at 4K. And it was really a beautiful game. You can see the insides of buildings. Like, they have like that same method that I think Marvel's Spider-Man used, or Insomniac used in the Spider-Man games. So you can like look at the insides of buildings, and just the detail on all the objects is remarkably, you know, very, very detailed. You know, for considering that you're kind of viewing it from a very top-down, sort of far, you know, perspective. It's like, it's amazing that the quality is of some of these assets are as high as they are. So this honestly is a very beautiful looking game, and I was a bit curious whether this was going to translate well to a controller, seeing that, you know, this is the type of game where you typically have better luck playing this on a keyboard and mouse with the actual, you know, controls and stuff like that. The controller layout is fine. You know, I didn't really find myself wishing I had a keyboard and mouse. It would have been easier, but, you know, for what it is, they streamlined the controls and everything handles perfectly fine on this. And I was very happy with the way that this game played on the Series X, as well as the way it looked. Just, if you played the first one, I can't really tell you to go out and play this one. I don't think you're going to really spend much more time in it, to be completely honest. But if you haven't played the first one and you're interested to see what it is, this is a great game that just adds on top of that really solid foundation that was the first game. So check it out. So that was a quick summary of my thoughts on the games that I played in February. Now I want to do a quick little update for you guys. I know I owe you guys some unboxings and stuff like that. First of all, if you haven't followed me on Twitter, you may not realize what was going on, okay? But basically, I attempted to do the Horizon Forbidden West unboxing, and I set up my camera and stuff. And I failed to realize two things. Number one, the route that I decided on taking actually had a lot of hills, and that resulted in number two, my camera just falling basically everywhere. So, I mean, I'll show some brief footage of what that was like here. It was not pretty, it was unwatchable. And, you know, before, like I told you guys, like I was going to a different GameStop. That GameStop was now closed, and I don't live in that same area anymore, so it's a bit more difficult for me. The resolution here is to basically get a GoPro where I can attach it to a surface on the car and have that working. I have a GoPro I can use for this, and I think I am going to try and do it, but now I kind of fall into the issue of timing. Because of my neglectance to realize these details that, you know, I should have caught, basically all the games that I plan to get for you guys, Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, and Gran Turismo 7, have basically launched now. So, you know, it's a bit challenging for me. I don't want to sit there and just unbox everything for the sake of unboxing everything. It's very important to me that if I bring these videos back, I want to do it for games that I am honestly excited for, as well as, you know, I want to support day one. Now, you guys saw that these are the games I played in February. Well, guess what? Next weekend, I am playing Halo Infinite campaign, and then I have Chorus, and then after that, I'm starting Dying Light 2. So I'm already about to start the games that first released this year, and I'm only about like a month behind at this point, which means I'm fairly caught up with the current releases and stuff that everybody is playing, which is tremendous news for you guys and for me as well. Now, I want to do these unboxing videos, but I don't know. There's no games coming out right now, or that, you know, there's stuff that I want to play, but there's nothing that I really want to support day one or feel like I need to go out and get for you guys. You know, the only thing I'm thinking about is maybe Lego Star Wars, which comes out in April. You know, that's like a childhood thing for me to sort of revisit those old Lego games, because I remember playing the original Lego Star Wars back on the PlayStation 2, you know, and this game, they remastered basically all of them. They look incredible, and they have all the new movies and stuff like that with it. So, like, that's a game I may look into doing that for. And also Forspoken, which is a PS5 exclusive coming out in May, which looks interesting. You know, that is one I guess I could do it for, but we're hearing rumors that that's going to get delayed again. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. We haven't really heard much about the game. So, yeah, I'm at this point now where I just, you know, it's on my mind. I want to do it for you guys. I just don't know what the correct course to do it would be. You know, I don't know what games, you know, I feel like I want to go out and do it for. And, you know, once I get to that point, rather, of me playing basically, me fully caught up and playing games as they're actually coming out, then I'll just do it for games that I'm actually going to get and play that same day. But, you know, until then, I want to sort of pick and choose, and I feel like that's, you know, that's good for me as well as that's better for you guys, because I don't want to just buy something for the sake of buying something and saying, here's a video. You know, I want it to come from the heart, basically. So it's on my mind. I thank you all for your patience and ask that you just give me a little bit more time to work some things out there, and I will get it right. I know that I know that, you know, I'm confident that I'll find some sort of balance with doing this. And you know, I put up this post a few days ago at this point. And yeah, again, it's on my mind. I want to do it for you guys, and you know, just keep in mind that I'm just trying to work out what the best course of action of actually achieving that is. I guess if that makes sense. Other than that, I also want to incorporate streams. Now, I feel what I'm going to do is starting for Dying Light 2, when I actually get to playing that, which should be the next couple weeks actually at this point. Starting for Dying Light 2, I want to actually stream it. So what I would like to do is actually do instead of doing the first impressions and having it just be the first half an hour of the game, do a stream of like 2 to 3 hours of my introduction to getting into the game. So finding a way to incorporate live streams with sort of that old method of me doing content, so you'd have the unboxing video, and then maybe like the day after or something like that, you'd watch the live stream. And, you know, I'll work with scheduling and stuff like that, you know, as we sort of get down to it. But, yeah, so that's all I wanted to do. It was sort of let you guys know, yes, you know, I haven't ignored the unboxing videos. I attempted to do it and I fucked up. That's basically what happened. I have the tools to do it correctly. Now it's just a matter of trying to find the right time, the right games to honestly do those videos for. And then also live streams, which may, I may incorporate at a later time. I have to work out with scheduling and whether or not I can really, I guess, do it on an energetic level, I guess you can say. Because honestly, a lot of the times when I start games, and I typically play games only on the weekends just because I'm so busy most of the time, I finally have time to sit here and do this video for you guys, and I'm focused on making sure that I get stuff out, I guess. So yeah, I'll keep you guys posted and things like that, but thank you all so much, and hope that was a bit more informative now that I guess some of you guys know what's going on that front. I just wanted to make sure that no one thought that I was ignoring you or just outright lying. I'm just, I'm one person. So I appreciate it. I will see you guys later, I guess, and let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you then. Thank you.